The former special counsel, Robert Hur, spending hours on Capitol Hill defending his report on President Biden's handling of classified documents and answering to accusations from Democrats that he's been playing politics.
Can do to get President Trump reelected so that you can get appointed as a federal judge or perhaps to another position in the Department of Justice. Isn't that correct?
Congressman, I have no such aspirations, I can assure you, and I can tell you that partisan politics had no place whatsoever in my work.
Now, the elephant in the room all day long as we watch this has been President Biden's memory. And we did learn some important context on all that today. First, let's go back for a moment to February and Hur's report, which highlighted the president's poor memory as he described it, writing he did not remember even within several years when his son Beau died. And his memory appeared hazy when describing the Afghanistan debate that was once so important to him. Now, today, before the hearing, the transcripts of that Biden testimony were released, and that's where the context comes in. While there was some confusion about the year being discussed, there was no doubt about the date of Beau Biden's death. In fact, the president quickly recalled the exact date, saying, and this is a quote, "What month did Beau die? Oh, God, May 30th. All right, let's get to the hearing itself. NewsNation's Joe Khalil's been covering it throughout the day. He's live on Capitol Hill for us with the very latest, and there's a lot to go through. Joe.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock to 3, 5 hours or so with a break in between, just wrapping up a few moments ago. Special counsel Robert Hur really steadfastly defended his own report and the conclusions, and he got incoming really from both sides, Connell. You had a lot of Republicans upset generally that his recommendation was no charges for President Biden based on a couple of different factors. So they really pressed him on why that was the case. And then you had Democrats on the other side basically alleging that he had been playing partisan politics or putting a partisan stint in his report by describing President Biden's mental state, by describing his memory. And here's how, in Hur's own words, he says he came to the conclusion of why he put the report the way he did.
Task was to determine whether the president retained or disclosed national defense information willfully. That means knowingly and with the intent to do something the law forbids. I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind.
So you had Republicans also pointing out today that the report doesn't necessarily exonerate Joe Biden. What it does is, and Hur made clear again in his testimony, that he felt that the evidence was there, but it wasn't compelling evidence. It wasn't enough that he said, and actually I think Robert Hur may have just walked out there based on the level of security that we had just past us here. He basically tried to, explain that there wasn't enough compelling evidence to go beyond the shadow of a doubt to a jury that Joe Biden had intent to withhold these classified documents. That was the conclusion that he came to. So a lot of tension, again, on both sides there, and it was really, interesting testimony from the source itself in Robert Hur.
Well, first of all, that was Robert Hur. He was just right over your left shoulder. I saw him being hurried by when you were on the air. He didn't want to stop for a NewsNation interview, knowing how intimidating you can be, Joe. So, what was interesting about this also, I think, I talked about this at the top, is not only do we have all this testimony and this questioning back and forth, we had the transcript of President Biden's testimony being released before Hur, went into the hearing room. And you can learn a lot there as well.
Yeah, you can, and actually we saw it from both sides. Now, granted, a lot of members were upset because this is, 5 hours or so, hundreds of pages here, and they only had moments before the hearing actually started to look at it. So what we did learn in it is that really high-profile moment where President Biden was talking about his son Beau's death. He came out in that press conference and said, I thought, how dare you, when special counsel brought that question up. We do know it was actually President Biden himself who first referenced Beau Biden in the interview. But then he did remember the specific date. He did say unprompted that it was, May 30th that Beau died, but he didn't get the year right. And someone else at the table there had to say. So we learned that. We also learned, as Congressman Eric Swalwell pointed out, that within the transcript itself, there were a few times where the special counsel actually praised Joe Biden's memory, saying he had almost a memory that was in specific detail about how Congress does certain things, remembering back to his time as a senator. So both sides really pinpointed certain things they could use that sort of furthered their narrative here. We're going to go through all of those documents here, and I think we're going to learn more, as we can actually dig into them. But it was interesting, the timing of it, and maybe non-coincidental, that came out just before the hearing.
There's no coincidences in Washington. You know that, Joe. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.